Hi, everybody. I am still collecting stuff to start on my Halloween cards and whatnot. And then I'll go through some of my haul stuff when I get back or when people start getting here. I'm sure you're all off partying. No, just kidding. You know, being responsible adults and all that. Blah. Hi, whoever just snuck in. I cannot, for the life of me, figure out why my VersaFine Clair black ink is missing. I think the answer is because it's what I want. Tommy, please go lie down. Hi, Jenny. Tommy's ticking around because I have stuff all on his spot, so he's pouting. Go lay down, buddy. My phone went off. It's you, Jenny, telling people I'm live. It's funny that I was like, oh, that's probably what that is when I heard it. I packed all this stuff up in a container today to take it to work and attempt to work on it there. And then I ended up hi, YouTube. I ended up at CVS for an inordinate amount of time and then on the phone with insurance and some other stuff for longer than I would like to deal with. And yet it took me a boatload of time to figure out that somehow my husband had put my birth date in wrong on my insurance. And so weirdly, I don't exist. All right. There's a few of you here, so you want me to show you the goodies I got at Barnes & Noble or start on my working on these? Man, all of this, I don't know if you can see in here. Everything that was in a little envelope is now all just dumped out in the big envelope. So you might say think some positive thoughts towards whatever's in there having survived. And I was fussy cutting this girl, and she had legs. She was supposed to be walking. I decided after her legs were so hard to fussy cut that she can be flying in this card because I was beyond messing with her anymore. Does any of you, well, all two of you at this point, but anybody doesn't, I mean, there are people who don't celebrate, or I don't know if celebrate's the right word, don't do Halloween. And so I haven't sent as many Halloween cards as I do other holidays because I always sort of feel like I would never want someone to be offended because I mean, I'm not sending a card being like, haha, you don't like Halloween, but I'm not sure how you could not like a bat dressed up as a ghost visiting a house with real ghosts and this pig having, I think he took all the candy and that's why he's laughing when he runs away. You've done some fussy cut surgery. I have to tell you, one of the tricks I figured out is if I know I'm cutting birds and their feet are somewhat simple. Let me see if I can find her. I will intentionally cut feet off and then draw them back in because, so like this little guy here, let's say he wasn't wearing this, his sheet to be a spooky ghost. His feet I could totally draw back in, but these were her legs. And if I was putting her on like white paper or something, first of all, I'd be tempted in most cases if I was just I would just cut her out in an oval or something. But fussy cutting her, those would come off and I just have to pencil them back in because, I get 80% of it done and then whoop, there goes a leg. Hi, Sarcy. I think I send cards more now, partially because I make them and I enjoy making them. And I get so much crap nobody wants in the mail. Like, I don't want bills and more bills. And so when it's a birthday or Christmas, I get excited about the mail. So feeling like I can do that, send a paper hug to somebody. I don't think anybody should feel like they have to do that for people. But first of all, I enjoy making cards. So I have them and I donate some of them to nursing homes and stuff. But I think that we can share all of that. Oof, boy, that is shiny, shiny. Invitations, that requires people come to your house. That's crazy. See, now you're not talking my language. I'm just kidding. I'm a very barn person. So if you come to visit, you should probably prefer bonfires to the house being completely spotless because I barely get the craft room clean and then I destroy it again. And that's kind of how I roll. So one of our fellow crafters mentioned on a live the other day that she's been struggling with depression, which I think lots of us either have health issues or, mental health issues. Crafting is a way we cope with it. And so I messaged her and asked for her personal address so I could send her a card. And that's the kind of thing where sometimes you just feel like alone in the world. So there's that little guy is trapped in there and I'll get him out later because I don't want to fight with him. So here, since I'm guessing there's other lives going on and I just today, and there's people not talking. Hi, people who aren't talking. I bought some stuff the other day. First, I'll start with the very exciting thing I found at Goodwill and I snagged it. You know how they have the cart out and they haven't even put it away yet. Are you guys seeing it? So it's obviously not super, super vintage because these are plastic. So I would say 60s or 70s, possibly early 80s. This orange says some stuff about the 60s to me, but and it's Golden Classic Games, which I had never, I guess I didn't even know was a thing. I don't know if there's I know the woodwinds people collect these little bead things too, the little numbers, but it came with all of its little dots. Oh, I wonder what year this penny is. 1945, looks like maybe. You guys see it better than me? I can't see crap. 45 or 43. That has nothing to do with what year this stuff is. But even this is kind of a cool age on it and stuff. I didn't see anywhere it says, this says 1990 Rapid Mounting and Finishing Company. Wow, this has had some abuse since the 90s. Wow, that makes me feel old. I graduated in 92. Well, YouTube, send me a message. Are you on Pam's chat or anywhere? If not, send me a note here or Cheryl Workman on Facebook. And I think, Jenny, does my picture on Facebook have my horse right now or is it something different? It's usually me and my horse. But I think there's something like 81 bingo cards in here. And I have a lot of napkins. And I just sort of think covering some of these with napkins, and then I might throw some in. I've got to get an Etsy shop to get rid of some of my extra stuff. Pam keeps telling me I need to do a sale on here, but I don't think so. Oh yeah. It's a card. My current thing is a card that I made I had a client who lost a pet. And so I made that card, and it was really pretty, and I wanted to record it. So if you don't know, YouTube, I'm a dog groomer, so a client losing a pet is not an unusual thing for me. And I'm very close to usually both the pets, and actually more close to the pets than the owners. And like today, I picked up and dropped off a dog who I've watched the dad of the dog die, and now the mom is in hospice. So now I'm working with the daughter, and we've been picking him up and dropping him off because she's in hospice and the daughter's doing all the stuff, and it's a lot. So, okay. This is part of I couldn't wait to put this together for open the book before I put this together, because it's a freaking poodle. It's okay, Jenny. I find that one of the best things about my job is that I always get to love the dogs, and sometimes I really get to love some clients. And this dog's dad, Art, was a teacher in Chicago before he retired and came down here. And it's just been good. It's been good to know him. It's been good to know his wife. And now I'm getting to know the daughter. And honestly, the dog is kind of a little terror. It's a terrier who happens to be a terror, but it actually makes him almost more endearing that this little dog's, kind of a terror. And I'm enjoying. I've enjoyed all of this. I'm not enjoying watching poor Mary Lou get ill and age, but it's kind of a blessing to get to know people that way. Oh, also last night when I was cleaning, I just made this. Oh yeah, Sarcy, you gotta let us know what's happening. It's possible it's a donut emergency. By the way, it's a joke. Please don't anybody take it too serious. I literally did have a cop once blow through a light, go through, and then stop at McDonald's. And I was like, really? Turned on his lights and sirens to go to the McDonald's. I'm like, there's nothing at McDonald's worth sirens. All right, Sarcy, you'll have to rewind to see the goodies I got. I'm going to start. They're all awesome. Oh, also, Jenny's also seen this. She saw a picture I sent her today because I was asking her if she thought the background fabric was good. This little bandana I made for a puppy dog. I bought a bunch of this fabric and didn't have backer fabric, so I have this that I got at the Goodwill a few years ago. That's real obnoxious on the camera. But hopefully it'll fit some of my clients' dogs. And I'm trying to decide if I want to put loops for a collar or just some binding seam so it's longer. This would fit a small dog as it is, but I tried to put it on Tommy's neck and he got a big old head. Oh, girl, you got to get on your local community chat, see what the heck is going on. So I got this Somerset Studio magazine. I don't know if I can get it all on the camera. Stupid camera. Is that good? Yeah, I see it? Okay. Ow! I know. First of all, Winnie the Pooh is the bomb. And Halloween is also fun. So I found that fabric, and usually on clients' dogs, we just cut the fabric and then tie it on them, and it lasts till the next haircut. But it's a pretty thin fabric. So I love it, Sarcy. You gotta keep us up on the nosy. So anyway, I got the Somerset Studio. I went in with the intention to get one thing, and I'll show it last because, you know, I'm mean like that. So if you haven't ever gotten a Somerset Studio, I've sat in at Barnes and Nobles and looked at them, and then this one just sort of struck me as fun because it had some spooky stuff. And this says to use a 4x8 canvas. And all I could think is I have never seen a 4x8 canvas. So that's going to be on my what in the heck list. So I just enjoy looking at this kind of stuff. And I don't do as much grungy as some people, mostly because I feel like I'm not as good at it. But I wanted to get this because it has some like little pages. These are artist papers where somebody's created papers and copied them. So I like that because it's, you know, somebody's original work. You know, it's collage work, but it's still work. We all know. If I flip past something too fast, scream. And these are, it's funny because shabby chic is kind of how I used to decorate my house. So I love these. And I've never seen, but yet I've never seen anything quite like this in junk journaling. And so it appeals to me, even though normally I'm not cut out pictures on journal things because a lot of them are spooky. But like this reminds me of photos of my grandma's cousins and stuff that I grew up looking at. Oh, right. Well, I've never found one anywhere for under $1 or anywhere. And so I bought this one, but I sort of had just been saving up my tips and said that's what I was going to do. And then they have these pages that help you, like for you to do creative stuff, which I liked. And this, I don't know why. I love it. I love the crane, and he's a crane, but like I love herons. So like, I think I might try to case this and use a heron photo. The only time I don't love herons is when I'm riding my horse and one of them flies out of nowhere because the horses know for sure that that is a dinosaur. So there's a bunch of spooking when a heron comes out of nowhere. And then I thought this was cool. I'm not sure where you would come across this, but it's like journaling on the outside of like the kind of little blocks, wood blocks you would have had when you were a kid. And then their clipboards turn into storyboards, which I've seen clipboards, never small ones quite like that, at Goodwill, and always thought, I don't know what I could do with those. Well, now, sadly, I do know what we could do with those. More of the art paper. And I like that they're, like when they do these papers, they're pretty good thick paper. And this lady has some really cool, it makes me like think I could try to do sketching like that. I don't think of myself as an artist, but I think that's part of the, like as far as sketching artist. But this is kind of cool. And I think these are supposed to be ears. Like she draw ears on a lot of stuff, but they kind of look like legs. And so that one's a little, I would have to do something about that. Like make it not look like stockings. But yeah, see how these have little ears, and this is very Mr. Tumnus from The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe to me. And I like these drawings, but the girls are so sad. So I think I would have to do it like, I don't think you can be that sad, have bare ears and be sad. Like this lady would need to be sad because one of her ears fell down. So, but I just think it's just the way she draws faces. It's very cool. And this. I think I like looking at these because we all have a style, or we watch people who, you know, like Tim Holtz is super duper popular and his stuff is always grungy, and I think it's beautiful. And then I think shabby chic is beautiful. And I think that like when Karen McCoy does stuff and it's bright and cheery, it's beautiful. And then I see this, which is not at all my style. And I think, wow, that's freaking gorgeous. Like, so it opens our brains. This one, I'm a horse person, and there's a long history. First of all, the whole zoot suit thing that has its own history that you should read about. But the African Americans in the horse world has been an odd thing, and jockeys have been some of the best grooms and jockeys and stuff that have been under, like, no one talked about them, have been these men who just loved, like, the guy who took care of Secretariat, his groom, was more important probably than his jockey was. So someone posted domestic disturbance. Oh. Oh. Well, I guess they won't fight again if he's going back to jail. I have a lot of empathy for that because we had to have a custody hearing once with the children's biological mother being in jail at the time, and she hung up on the judge. Like on an old school jail phone. Clunk. The judge's face. I will never forget. And he was like, well, that's new. And this is the kind of thing where I think I could pull that off. Those little flowers, I can draw those. Okay, I'm going to speed up. I feel like we're just. And these are just, so I struggle with the clusters. I watch people do it, and I think when I try to do it, it just looks like not in a good way cluster. But then I look at this and think, I just need to let go. And if it doesn't turn out well, then I redo it or I accept it and learn. And these are really cool. I haven't figured out what these are made of, but I have some tags that are made to be shaker tags that have a similar, they do have a clear thing to make them shakers. But I think I could use the tags to do something like assemblage like this where they have the depth. But I think this is cool. Also, Acadia National Park, 10 out of 10. If you haven't ever been. Oh, yeah. That reminds me. Send Dawn a card. Not you guys, me. She's in Maine, so it made me think we hadn't seen her in a while and that I had asked about her address, and it's on her page. I live in the country, so we almost never have that. But when I lived in town, we had a couple houses in our neighborhood that were rentals, and you'd have 10 years of fantastic tenants, and then you get one crazy family. And this has a thing about making your own shields, which I thought was kind of cool. Yes, Jenny, that's I didn't look to see what the date on it was because I saw it and I don't have it and I flipped through it. No, this is August, September, October. So yeah, it's about to be the one going out, I assume. But that doesn't matter to me. And this actually made me think, we have my maiden name. We have a family crest, and it's like a lion rampant on a background shield kind of thing. And I thought, yeah, I can do that with 3 shells. I forget. And of all the things, my family crest is Que Sera Sera. Where are you, Sarcy, that you have bears? And are they black bears, brown, or grizzlies? Because black and brown, I think I could cope. Oh, that's awesome. I'm a huge fan of reptiles and critters that other people don't love. So Ocala is definitely someplace that I want to go. We went and walked around. I'm trying to think. It's down by Fort Myers. It's an island down there. We went and walked around, and I'm like, please see an alligator. Please see it. No, we didn't see an alligator. Saw a lot of birds, a lot of cool stuff, but no alligators. I mean, I don't want one to sneak up on me. I think black bears are awesome. I mean, I don't want to come across one and surprise it. And I don't blame animals for doing what animals do. You know, people are like, that bear, well, that bear, you were in his neighborhood and you scared the crap out of it. More like the people who try to touch baby bears and then surprised. Horseshoe. Yeah, Ocala has some really cool horse barns. Like if somebody's selling a really expensive horse in Florida, it's in Ocala. Okay, Jenny, I won't make you look at spiders when you come visit me. But if you see a spider, you have to tell me and I have to let it out of the house. You can't murder it. I feel like that's true about the mama bear thing for humans too. Like my oldest has cerebral palsy and severe mental disabilities, and people do stuff and I think you forget he's attached to a mama bear. He can't defend himself, but I can defend him. And then this, turn some colors you wouldn't normally use together and add them in spaces below using paints, paper, inks, or combination of them. Give each of them a unique name. I'm not sure, but none of these are colors I wouldn't normally use together. Those are all. Anyway, I guess there's a flip through of one of those guys. And I've been trying to do this is my planner, and I'm trying to be better about keeping track of stuff. And I've been doing it so that if I put something in here that then I try to show my planner that you won't necessarily see, you know, doctor's appointment and my current weight or something that you don't need to know. So, but I think having the stuff to encourage me to collage. I just started to do how I flip through magazines myself. How many of you flip through from the back? Oh yeah, Sarcy, those barns. First of all, my house is 1,300 square feet. My barn is bigger than my house. So I'm all about my barn being worth more than mine. But I don't have an indoor, and we live someplace like Florida. You don't even need an indoor, and everybody's got one. Like there's not that many days you can't ride in Florida. We have the shorter days and the cold. So there's several months a year. My poor horse pretty much from December to March gets ridden when it's nice enough for me not to lose it. So I went through this sitting at Barnes & Nobles. I enjoy it. They have a chair. I sat down. I chilled. She did this with a bunch of old napkins and linen handkerchiefs and stuff. And I have a bunch of that stuff that I never know what to do with. So this was kind of a fun thing to look at. And, you know, when you have stuff that's falling apart and you can save it, because I have my great grandmother's handkerchiefs, and there might be some cousins that would remember Grandma Rowe, but I'm sort of the last generation of people who remember her. So, you know, my kids didn't know her and so on. And then look. The only thing sad about this is I can't squish it and touch it. And then this, I'm going to have to watch a video how she did this. She binds all these big chunky pages together using fabric. And, you know, there's always stuff that you just, new stuff. An excuse for us to play with our goodies, right? So, Sarcy, what's your main thing you do? Junk journals or cards or... I mean, hoard. That's one of the many things that we do. That's step 1, hoard. Step 2, make a mess. Step 3, clean it. Then you have to have a craft to pretend that your hoard has a purpose. Like my husband made some comment the other day about how much room all my stuff takes up. And I was just like, still not as much room as you. I need to look and see if this is the same artist that drew those guys with the faces on that other one, because I didn't read the name, but do those look like the same sad faces to you? Well, that's good. We'll trade. I like making journals, and then I make some ephemera, but then I run out of ideas for ephemera. So I have like half made. We'll just swap. Part of it is because I think, oh, I have this other thing. Let's make a journal out of that. And then I have 17 half-made journals. These are, I don't know. Yeah, it's the same. It has to be the same artist. It's funny that without the ears even, I knew that those sad faces were the same person. Cardboard. I'm gonna have to start paying attention, because now I feel like these are the same as that other lady. Remember when we had the shabby chic ones? And Sarcy, do you have a channel or no? Because I don't remember that. Sometimes I say that and then I look and I'm like, oh, I am following you. I just didn't realize it. This is funny because I see clothes pegs, not people. Person. Those kind of clothes pegs, you know, the ones that don't clip, that just slide on. Old school clothes pegs. This is definitely a way to take those sort of serious people and bring them less serious. Well, I'm all about the bears. The bears. I was trying to decide the other day if, like, once a week I needed to go down and make everybody listen to the horses whinny when I go down to visit them, because they get very excited. So, and then this is where I start to think I should try to do more of this kind of art, but then I find that overwhelming, so it's probably not going to happen. I like this. These little sketchy looking unicorn. If I pass something that you guys want to see, tell me. So purple is my favorite color, so this page is pretty good for me. Oh, more purple. So somebody did, this is purple background with, they printed a Psalms out and then they cut it into strips. So it sort of separated it, put it on a background. And then I think that this is a more gold paint than the photo shows, because it looks kind of brown to me, but it's cool. And that's also another. There's always the one sister. Do you see this lady's face? They're having too much fun. She's mad about it. This is trying to think if it's, it doesn't have to say what the name of this is, but I also know how to spin yarn. And so this is a cool old photo. Is that an old Chutes and Ladders? That fox is cute. The other day, just made me think about weird things we do as mixed media artists. So this is a stamp I have, and I stamped it on tissue paper, and then I put it over top of a book page. So you can just vaguely see there's, so I'm cutting it out. And my husband's like, what are you doing? Why didn't you just stamp it on paper? And I'm like, because that's not the point. It's not the point at all. I fully expect in any moment he's going to come tell me that he wants us to go to dinner. So I think this is that, what do you call the writing? It's not real. Like you just scribble some stuff. This is obviously real handwriting. My daughter constantly says my handwriting is beautiful because basically they didn't learn to write cursive. I taught her cursive, but then I reminded her that it took me years of practicing and I still don't love my handwriting. This is cool. So how does one decide, like, if you're going to case something? How do you even start? Do you just, should we write the pages down and spin for a number and say, let's case that? That is cool. I think embracing like real physical art in a world where AI is becoming more common, which AI has its place. Like you can absolutely make, like, if you can't find some foreign book page that you want to use as a background, use that, but then still adding your own art to it is just kind of a cool. And I need to use more texture in my art. I tend to be I use, paper that comes the way it is, pattern paper, and then book pages, and then I sort of get lost. All right, so the I Love You poodle that I showed came out of this. And I'll flip through it somewhat fast because, and okay, you guys anybody want to guess why I picked this one up? Because I've got some pages I need to share with Pam. My husband just left Asunda alone in the bedroom, so there's going to be great complaining in the kingdom until I make Isaac go down and let her outside or something. Hold on a sec. I'm going to see if I can I mute? Sarcy, you can be making clusters and stuff while you cheer us on. Hold on, microphone. No clue if my daughter heard me say that or not. I told her to take Asunda out with. They're going out. We're building a tiny house out back for my sister, and she is, Lily is helping my husband work on the drywall. They turned the space heater on out there, so the drywall would dry. Now they're headed out, but Asunda will bark if nobody is in the bedroom with her, and so I'm like, Asunda can go help with drywall. Here she comes. I love you too. Did you hear me? I'm on live. You can say hi to Jenny and Sarcy, and I don't know if YouTube's still on here or not. They can't hear you wave. She's waving. She's suddenly shy. Oh, I love you too. Go take Asunda out to the house with you. That way she's not barking directly below because her cage is down there, directly below us. Her name is Lily, Jenny. Hi, Lily. It's Lillian. Because she's my bonus kid, I didn't name her, but I would have probably named a daughter Lily, and her middle name happens to be my mom's middle name. So, maybe our friend that, if you know who I'm talking about and you want to send her a card, I'll let you know her address and stuff. But maybe this is the card I'll send her as her long distance hug. And she does crafting. Lily says she doesn't talk in videos because she sounds like she's 3, but I would say 2, maybe 2.5. See, she won't even say, ha ha. Like she won't even yell at me because you guys will hear her. Uh-oh. So I joked that that Lily's biological mother named her for me, whether she meant to or not. Her response by text is tisk tisk. It's going to be even noisier for a second while she goes in and gets Asunda out because the other dogs will be jealous. So you're about to see the other thing that I had to get this for. The artist who did these ginger cats everywhere. And then they always do this where it's the same artist. So come out without tearing, please. So like I can send this little card to Pam. And there's always, to me, there's always stuff in here that's outside of my normal style. But that's not a bad thing to challenge ourselves or to have stuff to share, to send to friends who you're like, that's not my thing. I send a lot of, like, I get Christmas cards in the like the grab bags at Goodwill. And I always end up like the ones that aren't my style, that aren't going to go in some junk journal that's my style. I know whose style they are, if it's Karen's or whatever. Also, I thought this page was really cool. Nope, that's not it. But there's another one. See, and like this, I have a friend who has a starling tattooed on herself because starlings always come home to roost. So even though she moved a long way away, it's her reminder that that home is always just like around the corner from you. This is the one. So look at this. I'm not sure why I like that so much, that little dove. This is more. Ah, it ripped, you jerk. I guess at least it wasn't any, it was just sort of a solid area. Look. This is exactly how cats behave. This is the Flow book. Hold on, let me see if it says under here the actual date. This one says November Number 12, volume 2. I don't know if it says the month. Flow book for paper lovers, a special edition of Flow magazine from the Netherlands, flowmagazine.nl. And I got it at Barnes & Noble. I have another Flow book that's a different edition, but I don't honestly know what order they are or what number we're on. This is, I saw this one when I was looking. I went in looking for the Christmas paper. Look at these freaking squirrels. Like, my colored pencils are coming out for these squirrels. We're going to have red squirrels and gray squirrels. Got swans. This, as a person who rescues dogs, seems like you shouldn't have the entire food chain together on the couch. I had a dog named Snowman when I was a kid. And when I was little and had a basket on my bike, this is how he rode. And then when I got big enough for a 10-speed, it didn't have a basket, and Dad wasn't going to put a basket on my big bike, I taught Snowman to sit on this bar, and he crossed his legs and put his feet on this bar and held on there. He was a little rat terrier, strong little sucker. So he rode my bike. He rode on the bike everywhere I went. And that's how, if you talk about to my neighbors and they ask about me, I'm the girl that rode with the dog on my bike. And I have friends who do knitting, so that's going to them. This literally looks like Asunda, the little dog that I just made her take outside because it's barky little crap. It's the little skinny legs that makes her barky. Actually, they did some of her puppies. She was dumped pregnant, so she's one of the mama dogs I ended up keeping. And they did genetic testing on some of her puppies, and she's pit bull and Chihuahua. So the Chihuahua barks a lot. Breeding with guinea pigs. Yeah, sign me up. That cat is so going to knock that garlic off the table. Then there's a poodle. I used to have standard poodles, and then I figured out that as a human who brushes people's dogs for a living, that I didn't want to go home and brush dogs. So I loved my standard poodles, but then I ended up with smooth-coated dogs who they only have to have their nails trimmed and baths occasionally. That was my smart move for myself. Where is Weenie? Because look, that's definitely a weenie dog. Poodle. That's some Harry Potter looking owl thing, or just owl in general. And then I think I might use one of these pages to make my little be right back for when I go live. And these are just some, I have so many envelopes. That is just beautiful. Oh my gosh. Okay, this green color makes them look, they might be a little zombie-esque there, but that is really cool. Trying to feel which ones are stickers, and yeah, these are all stickers. I have to check because they don't feel stickery. They aren't shiny. They're matte, just like normal paper. In betweensies. I would like to make some ATCs, but I actually struggle with the tiny thing. I needed advice on the Twinchies. I was watching a little bit of Nicole at Relax Cut Glue the other day. Oh my gosh. This is, I don't know why I find this so cool. So Reckless, the dog my farm and my pager named after she was some sort of mix. Her tail wasn't this curly, but if I see a dog with a curly tail, and she loved the water, I always think of Reckless. And Reckless to me, she was named after the song Love is Reckless. So, which is an Alabama song. So Reckless isn't necessarily what people think of as reckless. These glue boogies. Well, Jenny, if you see anything specifically that you're dying to have, I definitely have to share stuff, because if not, I'll have all of the things for eternity and never have space in my craft room. I mean, I just got a new Billy bookshelf so that I could put some of my stuff away, and I still can't fit it all in. I don't know that new bookshelf is going to be the answer. It may be, maybe actually getting rid of some stuff. That makes me a little sad, by the way, to even say that out loud. This is cool. Stickers stickers. I love that they have stuff where there's stickers on the front but the back is still, this looks like it ripped a little, but this is still usable. Yeah, this is not sticker paper back here. And then a book within a book. And this is the kind of thing where, because it has all its own little cool papers, I will sometimes just put a new cover, like a cover I think is cool, on it, and then just send this as a gift. Sorry, so you got to do a video about making Twinchies and stuff, so that those of us who struggle with small space can get ourselves into, so I can have even tinier scraps in my craft room. I have the number of containers of different, like I have got to sit down and decide how I'm storing my scraps, and actually have a system, instead of just like, I just shove it in this and then shove it over here, and like, by season or color or something. It's just more fun to make more scraps. That's my thought. Yeah. These are, I was about to say not my cup of tea, but then it seemed a little bit. Sarcy, that's kind of why I started doing, I haven't done very many real videos, because it does seem weird to just be sitting here talking to myself. But that's the lives, even if it's just the two of you. Like, it's like we're hanging out, and you guys can tell me hey, we don't care about that. So these are the pages where I say this is not at all my style. This is something where I can't think right now of somebody who might love this. Actually, Nicole at Relax Cut Glue might probably find a use for it, because she does colored glue book pages and stuff, just like all colors. But I don't know that I know her enough to be like, haha, I'm sending you stuff. I mean, I'm not sure anybody's ever going to complain that I'm sending them stuff. Oh, and real quick, before I get to the good book, the book that I was at the Goodwill, and these were, I'm sure somebody got these as a gift. I'm trying to see if it says what that photo was on the front page, because it looks grizzly to me, but that blonde color, I can't decide if it's, so they have Pizzly bears, or roller bears. I'll see which are grizzly polar bear crosses, because it's not albino, because he has black eyes. His nose is kind of pink. So, don't know. I guess he could just be leucistic, but that's... So, I get these kind of things because when you're doing, like, I don't need a million calendars, but I could use this in my planner, or I can use this as a background page. I could do the whole thing, like use this whole thing as a glue book to make collages and then cut the collages apart. What's that picture? Tombs. I thought that's the Titanic. Well, it's real annoying that it doesn't say. Somewhere it's got to tell us what bear that is. Photo above. Photo top. Cover photo. A Kermode bear, mother, Great Bear, British Columbia, Canada. Kermode bear. Spirit bear is a subspecies of American black bear. Okay. I was like, I thought I knew all the species of bears. And that's a red panda. Oh no, look away. It's pictures of boobies. Sorry. Luckily, there's not too many people in here to be offended by my jokes. Boop. Black rhinos. All right. Drum roll. Yeah, you might look, Jenny, or hold on. Yeah, it's Jenny. You need to borrow the neighbors. I don't want to know why. This is not, we don't discuss that on YouTube because I need plausible deniability. So you might look at the World Wildlife Fund and see if you can request a calendar. Because my guess is this is somebody who donates and then they get 7,000 calendars, so they throw them to the Goodwill. Actually, it might even be my neighbor because her mom used to donate stuff and she passed away a few years ago. So this is the paper Christmas collection. And I did that. The spooky one, I got that one and I loved it. And I love Christmas. Right, Jenny? And I went and the guy was like, I don't think we have it in yet. I'm like, the website says you do. So we looked, and then I just about to give up and I turned and they had it like in this corner, which kind of made it its own thing, but it's in a place you wouldn't have seen it. So if it says your local one has it, make them find it for you. Like, I don't know how you could not love this. My daughter was, sorry, Jenny, it's all my fault, is loving all these black and white photos. Some of them I like, some of them, I don't know. It's like, there's this one, and then there's another one where this is clearly an adult person. I'll see if I can find the other picture. But she's kind of dressed up in like the baby doll fashion. And so there's one where she's sitting on Santa's lap and it's just creepy AF. And I think that normalizing that creepy Santa thing, not my thing. So that'll have to, that one, it's obvious that that's an adult person and it doesn't bother me. But because I think it's literally the same actors, like the same people, and whether it's an old photo or a new photo that's been made to look old, I do not know, but still. And this is just cool. But she's going to freeze to death. Those boots do not look warm. Yeah, and my store had like 15 of them, Jenny. But they just came out. So I would say that when people realize they're there, they're going to be gone. Because like aside from the creepy Santa, there's nothing in here that I've been like, ugh. This made me laugh too much. I'm not sure that's seasonally incorrect, but I'm trying to think what else you would use for the nose. And okay, this is where I need help. I hadn't pulled anything out because I didn't want to wreck it before you guys saw it. Oh, I just needed to do this to figure out. It's a wine bottle tag. I was trying to decide what this was about. Because I'm like, I don't know what you would use that for. Because I'm like, as soon as I saw it, I thought door hanger. And I'm like, well, that's a weird gift. But that's kind of, it's cool, but also you wouldn't have to keep it that way. Like, also, you have this little thing that you can decorate. I don't know where my little thing I use to do my corners is, so I won't do that real quick. But hi, Karen. We were talking about you a minute ago, and in a good way. We were talking about some colorful, pretty stuff in this other magazine I looked at, and that it may have to go in your care box. So anyway, if you don't do wine gifts, which I may save one of these for my mother-in-law because, you know. I know. But wait, Karen, do you see why? It's the Christmas one. Oh, and I just realized Hello Kitty's over here. My Halloween Hello Kitty's over here being rude in the side picture. And these are very retro. But again, this is the kind of thing where like the back side is enough that if you wanted to collage on the, cut off the thing for it be a hanger and collage on it. And let's just be honest, I'm going to use all of this scraps to collage. All right, so the next thing I didn't figure out for sure is what these were, because like I said, I didn't want to hog it all. I wanted to share. So it's kind of foldy. I mean, I don't know. Any guesses? Is it like a place setting? But again, if I can't figure that out, I'll cut it and just make a tag. You know, I'm all about get out your paper punch, turn everything into a tag. Okay, can't get to it that way. Oh, crap. That was the bigger hole. Oh, well, it still works. So I guess if we're not sure what something is, we just make it up. But look at this with the cookies. Right. Sarcy's on here someplace too, but there was some drama going on with her neighbors, so she may be binocularing herself down the road right now. And look at this. Strippies. Yeah, again, my daughter says she's in love with this. I like it, but I don't know. It's too fakey. I like real. But look at this. Yummy. And there's more of these pages. It's somehow I got to figure out. It shows that you cut them and fold them. So page toppers, I don't know, like, I don't know. I'm going to have to play with them. And then I love these. They have a lot of these and they all say invitation on them. And I don't need that many people at my house. So I figure you can put a different thing over the top of that. I love this Santa. Karen's not into. I just like, as far as decorating my house and stuff, I tend to be like, I just don't go all out because then I would be hating all the dusting and stuff. But at Christmas, it's like the mantle is full and all the stuff. And my mother died at Christmas time. So, and she loved Christmas and she loved decorating, but sometimes depression would keep her from doing it. So I try to like do it and do it right in her memory, and also to not let that month take over. So if that means I got like 7 boxes of Christmas paper, it just means I got 7 boxes of Christmas paper. Do you send cards for Christmas, Karen? Because I've loaded some pictures in there. Oh, Joshua and your daughter, or 2 of the other kids? No, it's hard. Mom died on the 20th. Christmas Eve, we buried her. Snow. So people are like, I want snow for Christmas. I'm like, yeah, I'll pass. That's got to be really hard. Yeah, it's been, well, Mom died in 1990. So for 35 years. And there were a lot of years I was not good at being, like I didn't care if other people were happy about it. I was refusing to be happy. But then I remembered how much she loved Christmas and that my kids deserved to have that love for Christmas. Were they twins? We have a lot of not twins in our family with the birth dates too. So I asked because it could have been, but that's crazy. And how long ago did your daughter pass away? I mean, you don't have to. Oh, here's the creepy blankety blank Santa Claus. Am I wrong? That's no. Like, can we just put one of the stickers over his creepy self? That's really hard. Right? Okay, so good. It's not just me. I had a friend commit suicide, and it would have been about 15 years ago. And he had been on antidepressants, and he and his wife had been struggling. And then she told him that the antidepressants were making him too happy. So he went off of them and killed himself. And I still haven't processed it properly because I'm like, my name starts with a C. I was real close up in that phone. You could have called. But then, like, you really think about what it has to mean to be there. So I think, processing it, though, is just harder. It's just a completely different kind of mourning because you don't know. Usually you got to be mad at something like a car accident or cancer or whatever, but you've got to try to be mad at the person and, and not be mad at them at the same time because you can't imagine the pain. Then you're like, but what about the rest of us? Well, I'm sorry about the sadness there, people, but it's a real part of, and the holidays are hard for people. Like, anybody who tells you that there's not some moment at Christmas when, like, I'm not like, if my mom was here, we'd be having better friggin' bread than this crap somebody else made. Okay. No, I guess thinking about reading that letter, I didn't even read the letter that my grandma left for my dad, and she did not commit suicide. My grandma was like 93, but she left a letter, and grandma's handwriting, just seeing grandma's handwriting while he was reading it in the parking lot, I lost it, and I was really glad that when dad passed away that letter wasn't someplace because I don't think I could have done it. Oh no, Sarcy, that sucks. I really, really, really hope that they make it okay around here to be composted because I want to be cremated. I don't want to take up space. That where my mom's buried, we spent a boatload of money and they don't take care of it. She's kind of at the back of this really big, one of those flat places, you know. So I don't want to be buried. I don't need real estate when I'm dead. And then I watch stuff where it's like, they dig up old cemeteries because nobody around say you can't do it. I would friggin' compost me. And then if I liked you, I'll grow nice stuff in your yard. If I don't, weeds. I have a running joke that I want to be cremated. I don't care what happens to the bulk of my ashes, but that my horse friends have got to take a little handful of my ashes, put them in their pocket, and take it to the big horse show in Kentucky that we all go to every year and watch people, and put it at the head of the lake, which is this lake where they jump into it and jump back out of it. It's a big deal. And I'll never be a good enough rider to ride there, but I can spend the rest of my life at the head of the lake. I snuck my dog's ashes. You're supposed to get like a permit to do it, but I snuck my dog's ashes down to the park where he used to love to play. Like, most of my dogs are buried at the farm, but Zuby we didn't own the farm at the time. And his favorite place was the park in town. And so I just walked up in there with a coffee can and walked back with a full coffee can, walked back out with an empty coffee can. So Zuby's out by the creek where he always wanted to be. Yeah. And again, this is a cool picture, but I don't understand the no pants Christmas. I mean, you can have a no pants Christmas, but I don't need it in my journal. I guess we could do a no pants Christmas journal. This is kind of cool. Anyway, Karen, I do need to know if you do any Christmas journaling or anything, because I have a bunch of, I don't know that religious is the right word, but like I have a bunch of Christmas card fronts that I would use for journals that have scripture and other stuff on it. And stuff like that. And I won't use all of them, and I'm trying to make sure that they go to people who will use them. Oh my gosh. If I have to be in an urn, I want to be like in a real tall, skinny urn, so I can be hot, smoking hot, and skinny. Oh, girl, you got to get Google eyes if you're going to do eyes. Those creepy eyes that follow you where you walk. Do you ever just be looking at something like this and go, I don't care what else I don't use out of this, but this bird, he's got to come out right now, do something with his life. Oh, I didn't even look at what's on the other side, just placed it right. So, Karen, you'll have to go back and zoom through the earlier part because I got some Somerset Studios and another flow. It may be the one you ended up with, though. Right? I I love all of this. And this, my daughter was saying she really likes the retro stuff. So this journal may end up being hers. Like I'll see if I can convince her to sit down with me and do a December daily or something. Right. Like either of us ADHD gonna let us do anything daily. My daughter is so sweet and kind and just like all heart. So I really want her like to have some real good Christmas memories. That's a pretty picture, but she looks like she would absolutely steal your boyfriend right before Christmas. And just this page. Why'd they have to cover that up? I want to know what artist did this with all the little writing and the little chickadee. Boop. And this with the rocking horse. Karen, do you want me to show you the thing I made for you for your care package? Because I'm dying for you to see it. Dying. Okay, hold on. That's the last page anyway, so I'm trying not to shake the whole camera because the wheel on my chair has decided one of the wheels doesn't wheel. See, I told you I need to make a BRB sign. Here's Karen's box, guys. Hold on. First of all, I didn't even ask. And now that I know you might not do Christmas, I put this in your package because I had 2 of them. And it's just Christmas. Like warm wishes from our house to yours. And with love and 'tis the season. And then just a Christmas door. So if you don't want it, let me know. I'll send it to... Jenny's just started making Christmas. Oh, you do Christmas. Okay. I thought you were saying you didn't need that one because you don't do Christmas. And I sent you some cute little... Okay, that's fuzzy. I won't send the fuzzy to you. Hold on. I'm not going to show you everything because that just ruined it. This is going to sound silly, but so these were stickers I had for my wedding invitations. And I'm trying to share them out to people. Hold on, where are you? Oh, I put him in an envelope. All ready? This is an artist, Franz Marc, and he does really gorgeous animal. He was an old, it's like 1800s. So it's just a little notebook. And look. But this is what I was saying about the card thing, like this. The 3 wise men. So when you're making journals or stuff, you can add to it or whatever. But anyway, I'll put the sneaky stuff back in. I like am dying. I saw Tasha from Treasure Books make those, and I had just cut up that book and it had that horse in it. And I was just going to send you the horse. And I'm like, oh my God. Karen needs a notebook. I mean, because we don't have enough paper. So also you missed this, Karen. It's a puppy bandana. But it'll be too late for Halloween for your puppy. And then by the time it's Halloween next year, your baby puppy won't be little enough to wear this bandana. She has a Halloween bandana. I will probably be making. Well, yeah, and this I give the ones to my clients that are just pinking sheared on the edge, but this one's like this is the real deal. So this one I was going to put it on Tommy today, but he already has one I've sewn, and then his neck is fat, so I'm gonna have to go get some black seam binding and do the top, or he could wear it if I buttoned it. But I wasn't about to make it twice this big because the only part of it you see is that. It's funny because I have clients who, if I forget the dog's bandana, they're like, we like that when she goes in, it's like she came back and she joined a gang. I'm like, I don't think that's what I meant by it, but okay. My big scissors are in the other room because last night I was sitting on the couch, fussy cutting and doing silly stuff. But I want to cut this out and do something with it. So at some point, I probably do have to go get dinner. So, Sarcy, if you're still here and you want about anybody who wants a Halloween card, but I also know YouTube said she loves Halloween, and I'm happy to send her a card. But if anybody has her address or whatever. Oh, and Karen, I assume you were there the other day when one of our tribe mentioned that their depression was, they hadn't been around a while because their depression had been acting up. And I messaged today and got an address. If you want to message me, I'll send it to you and send some paper hugs. So there was, I'm going to see if I can find in that. Was it in this one? No. So I've got this for you know who. I'll send you a message. I just don't want, if she said it in a live with people she felt she was safe with, but there are people here she doesn't feel safe with. I don't want to do that. I'm trying to remember if this is the summer set that had the. No, that's the sad face ladies' second set of sad face ladies in that one. It's this one. We're talking about styles that weren't necessarily ours, but this guy had done this. I say guy. It's probably a female artist. I don't know why I say guy. Guy to me is a very gender neutral thing. But like, this really cool shabby chic style that I had never considered doing for journaling sort of drew me. But where on earth was it, guys? The jockeys. Well, I think it was after the creepy bunnies. There. This guy. Girl. Story by Lynn Perilla, or is it same as the artist? I'll have to see if I can. So this is just completely called me because this guy was the last African-American jockey to win the Kentucky Derby. And this is about the Zoot Suit and then the Zoot Suit riots and stuff. And there's a lot of history there people don't know. But I was talking about, this is not something, this neon thing isn't a thing that I normally think of doing, but then I see it and think, that's freaking cool. So I love that about art. So anyway. I don't know that I'm going to get around to working on more of my Halloween cards because I do need to feed small, well, not so small, but smallish people and grumpy old people, husbands. But here are some of my cards I've got finished. Well, nobody needs a Halloween card, Sarcy. Well, be sure to let me know at some point your address, though, because we're about to start Christmas cards, too. And I have a whole stack of fall cards I still have to put. Uh-oh, this guy is stuck. And Karen, you were missing the story about how I hacked her legs off on accident and decided since she's a bird, she just got them tucked up and is flying because I wasn't about to recut her. And then I made this last night out of some scraps laying on my table. This side doesn't match even kind of, but I didn't care. It just felt like that's what I had on my table, so that's what I was doing. And it's funny because I can't decide how to use this guy. Like, am I going to have to recolor him because Gingers can't wear green? Like, he would be so mad to be put in that uniform. He'd be like, no, can I please have the other blue uniform? Anyway, I'm going to go see what people want to eat, and then I'll see you guys probably over at Juju's or whoever's live next. And I'll work on some more stuff. You guys have a great one. Oh, is Di getting ready to come on? Is it? It's third. I just started to look at my arm where my watch is supposed to be. Bye, guys. Night. I'll see you at Di's. I'll be fixing dinner and lurking.